Hit training, go down to mobile, click on that, and it's the very first PDF. You can't miss it. Print several of those off, but don't just hand it to somebody. Walk through it with them, and because if they have a great experience enrolling, what are they going to tell people? Right? Let me just tell you real quick. When Stream did focus groups, long before we launched mobile, just for them to understand the marketplace, they didn't just talk to a bunch of us. They talked to consumers in other markets and did some focus group studies. And the number one reason that people haven't switched from provider A to a new provider wasn't money. It was they felt like it would be too hard. Number two was coverage. And number three was price. And that's where we came up with the thought of value, trust, and simplicity, right? If we can keep it simple, our friends trust us, and if we can bring them value in the pricing, it's a no-brainer. And I think we're there now. You guys see the simplicity with one network. And I'll tell you that I thought that our company pulled off a coup in a good way when we had two networks. But you know, I started noticing at business presentations, people were talking about the two networks and AT&T and Sprint, and no one was ever talking about Stream. And I'll tell you that when you see TV commercials or hear people talk about Metro, PCS, Boost, Virgin, Cricket, nobody knows what network they're on. Those are the phone companies. And we're Stream. It doesn't have to be about this network, that we're Stream. And the fact that there's no limitations, can you guys wrap your head around that compared to what we used to have to dance around a little bit? By the way, I'm going to bring this back up later, but for those of you who think Verizon hung the moon and coverage is so great, yeah, no. I've been on our Sprint network since a year ago, April, and have been up here several times. All over the country. Great, great, great coverage. Matter of fact, in Texas, AT&T owns the Southwest like Verizon owns the Northeast, and my coverage is so much superior with Stream than it was when I was with AT&T. So I'm going to go through the next service, but you know what? I got to give away some stuff. Let's see. How much did raise your hand, how much did our activation used to be?
35.
Raise your hands and don't yell it out, Kakata. All right, so as a two-part question, keep your hand up. How much did it used to be?
35.
How much is it now?
20.
Very good. Well done. Oh, watch your head. Let's see. This is... Hold on a second. How does somebody have their... Raise your hand to answer. How does somebody have their activation fee waived?
Auto-enroll their payments?
Auto-enroll. Well done. Nicely done. All right. Notice the size on that. I hooked you brothers up. All right, so had a couple of big T-shirts in there. I had to find the right recipient. All right, so I'm going to talk about the next service. We've talked about energy. We've talked about mobile. Those are our core, obviously. Now, I look around the room, and a lot of you I consider, quite frankly, family. And there's a lot of you I consider extremely close friends, and there's some of you who have never seen me before, and you're like, okay, whatever, right? I pride myself on being polite and professional in all aspects of my life, but I gotta kind of come clean here. I was a total jerk, quite frankly, a jackass, to the corporate people back in February-ish, when they told me about the Stream Digital Voice. I'm coming clean with you guys. I was not nice. There's a joke that's running around corporate now that I was calling the Stream Digital Voice an 8-track tape player. Because, let me take you back and how I knew about it in February. Obviously it wasn't introduced, it was a secret, it wasn't introduced until Ignition. Well, obviously I do a lot of the production and help with Ignition and the training, putting the training together. So they had to tell me about it, but they didn't tell me about it. They just said, oh, we have this thing and it's this, and I was like, voice over internet is 15 years old. We might as well tell all of our associates that we're going to do 8-track tape players to get paid on. Meaning, old technology, who wants to do that, right? And I mean, I'm not kidding you. I was not nice. I lobbied with Rob Snyder, Bouncer, when Larry came aboard, First meeting I got to have with them one-on-one, I told them that I thought it was a mistake. Our associates are going to think we're lost our mind, especially those people in the Northeast. Oh, I said that. I said, because they don't play. Right? I was like, for God's sakes, can we just do mobile? Great, right? And then finally, somebody sat down with me and explained how it works and all the benefits, and you'll never guess who Stream's #1 fan of. Do you guys have a clue how great this is? Okay, let's do a little poll. Let's do a little poll. Raise your hand if you have a landline at your home. Keep them up and everybody look around. Okay? No, please keep them up. Keep them up. And because I don't like people who exaggerate. John, put your hand in the air. In the air. That's fun. John, put your hand on your forehead. Okay, so would you guys agree that this sampling size, keep them up if you have one, is over 50% of the room? Yeah. Do you know that there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 to 70 million households that have a landline? Now, there's 300 million people in America. I have no idea how many households there are, but 60 or 70 million households sounds like a lot to me. You can put it down now. Yes. Are you sure? Right, so there's the first part of this that sounds good to me, right? When they try to explain it. By the way, this slide that you're looking at is from our new business presentation. Hopefully you guys have downloaded that from the Power Center with the script. Don't get me started there, but we will later. Now, it is a little odd that it says home services. There's this shot of this room in a pretty cool looking condo or whatever, and then we're talking about this phone. But part of the reason behind where the marketing department did this in this slide is this is just the entry of our home services portfolio. Now, there are, I don't know, Barb, what, 20 or 30 Stream associates who are currently beta testing our next home service. Now, we would tell you what that is, but then we'd have to kill you. On a serious note, they made us sign a non-disclosure agreement. However, because Barb and Ed, as executive directors, are one of the beta testers, and I am as well, I was just showing them, I had an installation guy come to my house last Monday. I'm not sure what it was he was doing. But from my phone, I just showed something to Barb and Ed. Well, let's just look at it this way. What if you were in the middle of the Caribbean on a cruise in December, and your mother-in-law was at home with your 2 kids, and while you were showing Lynn and Judy Shepard this thing at 2 in the morning in the bar on the ship, as you were scrolling through it, you noticed on your phone that your front door was unlocked at 2 in the morning. Would it be pretty cool if right then and there you could hit a button on your phone and lock your front door? Yeah. So, I don't feel like I told you anything that I shouldn't have. Because I didn't hear that, though, was it?
Yeah. Unless they were outside.
That's a good point. However, I have the solution to that because my children have their own key code push button on the front door. They can get it anytime. Here's the thing. This is just opening the door. And the reason I know I can get away with telling you what I told you is because those of you who were at Ignition, did you visit the Tomorrowland booth? Right? So they were showing us what could be. Now, it's not set in stone that or the other things that they were saying as possible services will happen. That's why you beta test things. But I'm just telling you, from those of you who've been in the business for a while, I've been doing this for 10 years, it is so refreshing to me to see them spending this much time way ahead of launching something to get it right, instead of doing it after they launch it. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? So great things are happening. But think of this as 4 different portfolios for you. Energy, mobile, home services, and protective services. Right? You've seen that slide right here that shows you those again, right? So let's talk again about the home services, and it starts with Stream Digital Voice. I'm going to roll through some of the features that you need and how to set them up, and then I'm going to spend a lot of time on the benefit that I believe are benefits in this. First of all, I won't get into it here because I have it later. These are just some bullet points that show you that, A, if you have a landline already, it's a no-brainer to switch to Stream Digital Voice. I will be able to show you later why somebody who doesn't have one will see the benefit. My nephew, who I referenced earlier, 27 years old in Houston, you know, most of these millennials, they have their cell phone and they don't have landlines like us old folks. But he gets it, right? He understands it now. So what you're looking at here is all the different equipment. I'm going to explain these things for you. This is what they're referring to as the hub, and that's the brains. That's the epicenter, right? So everyone will need this hub. And when you go onto the website to purchase your Stream Digital Voice, you have three options. One option is just the hub. The second option gives you the choice for the hub and the air, and it's just as it sounds. This is like Bluetooth, right? When you plug this in, I'll explain it to you. Then there's the bridge. That's a third choice, okay? And I'll tell you why you would choose those in a minute. This comes as soon as you become a customer. And the app on your phone allows you to make outbound and take inbound calls from your home landline while you are somewhere else on your mobile phone. Oh, by the way, you get to choose your area code. Now, some of y'all like, well, why would I choose a different area code than where I live? I've got a buddy who, he just wanted to be that guy, and he already chose a Hawaii area code. Darren, you know him very well. All right, so let's talk about this, how you get started. $99 one time to get the hub, okay? The activation to port your number over is $24.99. The monthly subscription is only $99.99 or $9.99. Now think about this. I don't know about you guys, but I've been paying north of $30-40 forever for my home phone. And I kept it for the longest time because I needed it for a fax machine, which I haven't sent a fax out since I've been in Stream, which is almost 11 years. I don't know why I still had that number. And I'll talk about that in a second. But that alone is so huge. You're going to be saving people $20-30 a month. Add that up over a year, 2, 3, 4 years, all right? The next question everybody has when they hear about this is, okay, yeah, I think I'm going to have some customers for this. How am I getting paid? Well, when you port over your current number, and that's all of us who raised our hands who have a current landline, when we port that number over, just like Greg taught you with mobile, right? You take an existing phone number and move it from X over to Stream Digital Voice, you're going to get a full point. If somebody's creating a new number, my nephew, a 27-year-old with no landline, he gets a new number, it's a half a point. Now, I will tell you that part of the reason for that is to prevent fraudulent switching and non-sticky customers. I'm going to throw this out here. I don't know that it'll ever happen, but corporate has already told us that they're going to watch and monitor the customer base and see if the masses who are creating a new number stay for a prolonged period of time, and they may put a time frame on it that if you were with the company X amount of time, X amount of months as a customer, they might move that to a full point, okay? For right now, this is what you need to know. Porting an existing number, 1 point. New number, half a point, all right? MEI, baby. That's good stuff. All right, where can I sell Stream Digital Voice? Everywhere, right? Everywhere, including, I'm going to tell you guys, being from the retail industry, Larry Mondry, our CEO, is a big fan of Puerto Rico. I don't know what that means. I'm just saying, okay? Here's what I want to spend time on. And I tried to put these into kind of 3 mindsets, but they might be a little jumbled. Is when I started to learn about this, the reason I became a fan is there's 3 different ways to look at this. You might have a customer like me who sees benefit in all 3, but all it's going to take is 1 for them to say, oh yeah, I need that. And I'm speaking as much to the person who doesn't have a landline. Let me give you this first example, privacy. when we think of privacy, I think of email. How many of you love getting spam email, right? Oh, isn't that a beating? Have you ever just thought, and I know some of you do, I think Steve probably does, have that separate email just to get all that junk, and then you have the one that only a few people know about? Well, how about doing that with your phone so it doesn't come to your cell phone? I'll give you an example. Panera Bread, right? I don't carry around those little cards and the little things that go on your keychain, or my grocery store that I go to all the time. My grocery store has a really cool rewards program. And what do I do every time? Because I don't carry that around. My wife's got all those things on her keychain. I don't like stuff in my pocket, right? So I'll put my phone number in. Well, I don't want that going to my cell number. Thank goodness I've had a landline. Didn't realize how great that was until I started thinking how I can share that with people. To have that extra line, if nothing else, just to keep your mobile phone private. That's huge, I think. All right. This mobility. I talked about the app, right? So you have a Stream Digital Voice app. Real quick, who has already downloaded Stream Digital Voice and using it? Do I have any examples in here? Julie? I know you're a huge fan, so I'm going to have you give us a little heads up here in a minute. The fact that you can take those inbound calls from that number or choose not to. Oh, by the way, when you send a call out or make an outbound call from your app, you can have the number be unknown. Now, I know you can do that from your cell phone too, but think about it. You might be making an outbound call where you don't want them to have your caller ID on your cell phone number. There's a lot of different applications here, plus the fact you also have the ability to get the voicemails from your Stream Digital Voice put into a text. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? And then, let me just tell you about this. Now, some of you may not have small children. I have a 8-year-old, soon to be 9, and a 10-year-old, right? And I'm trying to last as long as I can without getting them a cell phone. Right? I'm that guy. I do not want them having a cell phone. And, however,